Hi, it's great to be with you again. I'm Anita, a senior business intelligence analyst at Google, and I'm back to discuss the next part of your end of course project and how you can use it in your job search. Are you ready to start job searching in the BI field? The first step is to create a portfolio and resume that exhibit your skills. Your portfolio will be a collection of materials that you can use to showcase those skills and your approach to solving BI problems. One way you can build up your portfolio is by completing projects that demonstrate what you've learned, like this program's end-of-course project. This end-of-course project is also a really valuable opportunity to develop your interview skills. As potential employers assess you as a candidate, they might ask for specific examples of how you have tackled challenges in the past. You can use your portfolio as a way to discuss real problems that you have solved. Additionally, some employers might ask you to complete another case study for an interview. Getting some practice creating your own case studies means that you'll be much more prepared for those interviews. You've already explored experiential learning, or the idea of understanding through doing. This end-of-course project is also a great opportunity to really discover how organizations are using BI every day, practice your new skills, and really show off your BI knowledge. In order to complete the end-of-course project, you'll be presented with more details about the business case. Then, you'll use the key BI documents you completed to create a pipeline system that delivers data to reporting tables. Later on, you can use these tables to design dashboards to share insights with stakeholders. By the time you complete this project, you'll have a finished case study you can add to your portfolio. You'll also have documentation of the steps you took along the way, which you can use to explain your work to future hiring managers. At this point, you've probably already completed one part of the end-of-course project. Now, you're almost finished with the next course of this program, which means you know everything you need to tackle the next phase. Ready? Then let's get started. In this course, you've been learning about how database systems are designed, how to build BI tools such as pipelines and ETL systems, and how to optimize them to maximize performance. Now it's time for an exciting next step, putting all of this to work for your end-of-course project. In the previous course, you were introduced to the project scenario and important details about the case. Along the way, you developed stakeholder requirements, project requirements, and strategy documents. Now that you have these important elements of the project laid out, it's time to start thinking about the data. In this part of the course, you'll begin working with a database in order to create BI tools that automate key processes, such as moving and transforming data before reading it into your target tables for reporting. Coming up, you're going to access the project data, explore the design pattern for your database system, observe your team's work to determine their needs, and use required metrics and facts to build a pipeline that meets those needs. These processes will enable your team to focus their time on other aspects of their day-to-day jobs, and will move and transform your data for immediate use in reports and dashboards. These reports and dashboards will give your stakeholders updated insights and empower them to get their own answers from the data. This part of the end-of-course project is a great opportunity to demonstrate to potential employers that you can do exactly that. And remember, developing these tools is an iterative process, so you can continue to build and improve them as you have new ideas or learn new things. At this point in your end-of-course project, you've done a lot of work already. You collaborated with stakeholders to determine their needs and create important project planning documents. Then, you use those to explore the project data and build systems to deliver the data. As you continue to work on your end-of-course project, you will want to consider how you can highlight your process and explain what you've done to potential employers and hiring managers. First, it's important to recognize that, as a BI professional, you may be asked to learn and adapt to new tools. There are a lot of great solutions out there, and different businesses use different BI tools depending on their needs. Keep in mind that you have learned a lot of transferable skills that can be applied across different tools. You've also learned the importance of understanding and observing how stakeholders can use data in order to better meet their data needs. You recognize the different types of databases and storage systems and how they can be useful in a larger database system. And you understand the logic behind pipelines that ingest, transform, and deliver data. These are all skills worth highlighting in job interviews, no matter what tools the position requires. In addition, always be sure to consider your audience. As you have been learning throughout these courses, you will often work with different kinds of stakeholders who have different levels of technical know-how. When you communicate with them, keep in mind who they are and what their goals are, and what they already know and what they need to know. This is just as true when you're discussing your end-of-course project with interviewers. Often, there will be people conducting or joining your interview who aren't necessarily BI professionals. For example, hiring managers may not have the same detailed understanding of BI processes as you do. In order to keep your presentation relevant to them, try to remember those key questions about your audience. Your interviewers have a business challenge, just like stakeholders on a BI project. They have an open job position to fill. Think about what they need to know about you that makes a decision that solves that. Coming up, you're going to learn all about presenting BI insights to your stakeholders and providing them with access to relevant data they can use to make decisions. By the end of these courses, you'll wrap up your end-of-course project by creating dashboards and presentations. In no time, you'll have a complete case study for your portfolio.
My name is Luis, and I'm a data and analytics manager at Google. When I'm preparing for an interview, I like to prepare a document where I describe what is the role, what are the typical questions and the typical type of interviews that this company does, what is the team or the organization, this role I'm applying for, what are the projects that help this team to grow and to excel, and also to prepare the technical side of it. So prepare the portfolio, understand the impact that I want to showcase, what is aligned with the company strategy, and really take the time, at least 2 weeks, to really be ready for a first interview. A portfolio is a collection of your past experience and the past projects that you think are useful to showcase to someone that is interviewing you. It's basically your brand, and you need to make sure that the project showcase the value of your brand. The common mistake that I usually see is the lack of showcasing impact. On the technical side, ensure that you understand why you created a data solution, what was the outcome, what is the impact, how did you measure that. On top of that, make sure that you also are capable of explaining why you applied a certain solution instead of others, and also make sure that you define and you are able to explain the next steps. What can be done on top of this solution? When you are preparing for an interview, make sure that you rehearse the interview with someone else. It's important that you make sure that you are able to tell the right message, that you focus on impact, that you are able to sell yourself the best way you can. So you need to be really prepared for the interview, and rehearsing with someone that you trust, that you are comfortable with receiving feedback is really key to make you ready to answer the interview questions. If BI is really the path that you want to pursue, this is the very good first step to take into it. But you should not stop here. Go out and talk with people. There are multiple meetups that happen around data, around BI, so don't feel that you are alone on this road. There are multiple people that can help you, increase your network, make connections. You'll be able to share, and you'll also receive knowledge from others.
Congratulations on completing another course. You're that much closer to finishing this program and receiving your certificate. You've learned a lot already, so take a moment to consider everything we've covered in this course and celebrate. For example, you learned about database modeling, design patterns, and how to use database schemas to describe those design patterns. You also discovered many kinds of databases and how they have different uses within a database system. Next, you explored data pipelines and how ETL and ELT processes help get data where it needs to go and transform it to be useful during that process. You also learned about different data storage systems that you might use in a pipeline. Additionally, you explored more common BI tools and how to interact with stakeholders effectively. You even had a chance to create your own pipeline. Then, by exploring database and pipeline optimization, you were able to consider how BI processes and systems are often iterative. Coming up, you have even more exciting discoveries to make. Now that you understand how to create systems to deliver data to stakeholders, it's time to start thinking about how to present that data and make it accessible and useful for decision-making. In the next course, you're going to learn more about how to design visualizations and dashboards for BI and present those insights. Great work so far.